Hello and welcome back to another Reaconteur video, and in today's video I will be ranking every attunement from worst to best. Make sure to subscribe, because only about 20% of the people watching this video actually are. Now, let's get into it. And just know, I won't be covering potential builds, just the attunement on its own and the mantras that it provides as well as talents as a whole. So that means no legendary weapons will be included like Crypt Blade or the Curved Blade of Winds. So, just know that before watching this. And also, this video is a community ranking, so I did a poll with 15,000 people from the Deepwoken trading server, which I own by the way, and that's how I got the statistics for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. After doing a vote with about 15,000 people, it was concluded that most people thought Shadow was the worst attunement on its own. As stated in the beginning of this video, this is excluding potential builds, so Crypt Blade will not be included in the ranking. And I would have to agree for the most part. Shadow doesn't really do much damage outside of 2, maybe 3 mantras. As a whole, Shadowcast is good to supplement attunement lists or even dual attunement builds, but on its own without Crypt Blade, at least, it is very weak. It really is just a supplementary attunement. The Ether stealing is really the reason why people use it, so that way they're more capable of fighting, while they drain their resources from their opponent. So, without another attunement or attunement list, or without the Crypt Blade, Shadow really isn't as strong as it could be. I really hate how low this got ranked by Deepwoken players, because in Agamatsu's words, it's simply old Hero Blade with any weapon since you're essentially saving 100 points. However, you aren't saving 100 points, Agamatsu. Dumbass. No, I'm joking. Because similarly to attunements, you need to scale your strength stat to get stronger and level up your mantras. So in reality, you're still scaling strength, just in turn to the attunement stats. The reason why I say this is the second worst is because similarly to Shadow, it's also supplementary. Especially since you don't need to go attunement list in order to get the mantras you want, like strong left and rapid punches. Essentially making there no reason to go attunement list when you can get an attunement and still get the good mantras that you want from attunement lists. So there really is just no reason to have a full attunement list build unless you're weird and you want a bunch of stats for some reason. Gale Breath isn't bad. Every attunement is viable in Deepwoken, however, Gale in the current meta is just slightly worse than every other element past this point in the video. It's not bad, it's just worse than the others. Gale lacks damage after the many times it's been nerfed, and since we're not including Curved Blade for the sake of this list, Gale is pretty mediocre. Also, Gale Lunge shouldn't do less damage than a single M1, I just wanted to point that out. As a whole, most of the mantras that Gale has really aren't worth using, like look at Tornado, and lots of the mantras that are worth using aren't really done for dealing damage, they're used for either utility or chasing like Gale Lunge. I would like you to keep in mind that this list is based on the poll of about 15,000 people, so if you think Thundercall should be higher, that's just your opinion. Anyway, Thundercall really lacks pressuring abilities since there's only like 3 good mantras, those being Lightning Blade, Grand Javelin, and Jolt Grab. The rest of them are pretty lacking in damage or enemy pressure, which makes you have a very limited kit when fighting other players, and that's the biggest issue with Thundercall. Sure, it does good damage, sure it has good mantras, kinda. There's only like 3 really good mantras, and then the other one is like, I don't know, Thunder Lightning Stream, which is kind of mid after it's been nerfed. But as a whole, Thundercall is good, and it's usable. Frost is really good. Overpowered talents and literally broken mantras like Ice Gate, which is uncounterable and unbalanced. Ice Lance with Explosive Ice Lance does a ton of damage. Ice Daggers with Frozen Pincushion is a single free hit minimum depending on how dumb your opponent is. Saint J literally countering like a third of meta things in the game which all do healing. So yeah, Ice is really good and I'm surprised it's not used by more people because of how strong it is as a whole. It's definitely really underrated because I never really see people running Ice builds as often as you would think that there would be, because it really is really good. So it's just weird. Wow, who didn't expect Flame Charm to be the best with how many people fucking use it? It's got everything. High damaging spells, which is all of them except for like Flame Gun. Amazing support with Flame Wisp, which gives extra healing, and Graceful Flame, which is great for the depths and farming of any kind, as well as instant campfires that also heal faster than campfires. Decent mobility mantras like Flame Leap and every other offense mantra other than Fire Gun is viable, and most of them do a ton of damage, or at least enough damage to make them worth using. There is definitely a reason to Azure Flame Shadow Katana as a stereotype, because it is really good, and there's no reason for you to not use Flame, or at least have a Flame build unless you find something else more fun, or you don't like using Flame. but it's really good in the current meta, and it will probably stay meta until Deepwoken is dead like Rogue Lineage. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and next video, which will drop Friday, will be the Supa diss track, because I'm personally not letting that slide. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now make sure to subscribe, and goodbye.